Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with an amazing trio, which is now a duo for this evening, alternative pop rock inspired rock band, unapologetically declare their personal vendetta on mental warfare, mental health, breaking the stigma of ignorance around the topic that's been neglected for years. They stress the importance of mental health and why it's so important to take care of yourself. They love to protect life as well as rocking out. They perform at the Whiskey A Go Go, Viper Room, Molly Malone's, and more in the Los Angeles area. They've been featured on LA Weekly, High Wire, and soon to be on CBS's Sounds of the Underground coming up later this year. We have a couple of gentlemen who's going to be joining us, and one of them is Mr. Bad Luck, and the other is Mr. Good Luck. We'll find out why. We'll talk about their new album, Craniotomy, featuring Loner, coming out later. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful suburban Los Angeles in downtown Santa Clarita, home of the soon-to-be big international film festival that's happening out there, and it's really huge. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Jeremy Bauer on bass and Brian Smith, the singer, Mr. Bad Luck, best known as Soundhoose. Guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. It's good to be here.
You.
What's great to have you on board as well, too. So you guys are an alternative pop punk inspired rock band who just unapologetically declare their personal vendetta on mental warfare, and based on breaking down stigmas and more, you guys stress the importance of mental health, why it's important. You protect all life, which is amazing. You perform at the Whiskey A Go Go, Viper Room, Molly Malone's The Mint. You also feature in LA Weekly, High Wire, and soon to be on CBS's Sounds of the Underground coming up in 22. You also have a new album, Craniotomy, featuring Loner, which will be coming out in 23 as well. You got some really good traction on Spotify and more. And before we get into all that, guys, tell us how I first got started.
Well, so Soundhoose, I think, got started when I was going to school in Minnesota, and which was originally for like audio and post production. I was gonna do like Foley, sound effects, all that kind of stuff for post. And music was kind of always more of like a backup plan or a hobby at the time. And I just noticed that when I was living up there by myself, all my friends and family were out here in California, and I really didn't have anybody there. So it was something that kind of got me through a difficult time of being alone. And so it just got more serious as time went on. And I started making music, and people were like, you should share this. And so I started doing it, and I realized that when I knew that I was going to be coming back to California, there was no point in finding band members out in Minnesota. So as soon as I got back here, I ended up meeting our drummer, Paul Burns, first during COVID, and Jeremy ended up joining about 8 months later, and it's been a blessing since.
And it certainly is. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career, Brandon?
I honestly think that it was just everybody has a voice, and I think everybody deserves to be heard. It was more of something that when I originally came up with some of these songs, it was, I don't have a diary or a journal or anything like that, but this was my way of having a diary or journal. And so I just translated it into music. And then when I started playing it for my immediate friends, they're like, I can relate to this. And
Wow.
it helped them get through some of the things that they were going through. And I thought to myself, maybe this could be something bigger, because if it's helping me and other people, maybe I can help other people as well.
And you're certainly doing a good job of it so far, from what I can tell, too. And who are some of your favorite artists, singers, songwriters, and musicians growing up?
You want to take that one?
Yeah,
You can answer one, Brandon. I was going to ask Jeremy later. So
yeah, no, well, his answers are going to be pretty much the same as mine, and same with Paul. I mean, that's why we're all
okay. You can bounce back and forth. I'll let you have this one.
Yeah,
sure.
Honestly, like just to go off what he's saying, we all have like very similar influences when it comes to our styles of music. So definitely like Green Day, Blink-182, you know, like My Chemical Romance a little bit, like kind of a lot of it.
For sure.
21 Pilots, you know, it's a lot of stuff like that that's really inspired us to, you know, have that kind of style. And we also want to have like a collective with our fan base too, like not just as fans, but like that we're all family. And those bands have also kind of showed us, you know, that like the whole fan base can be a family too.
That's really
It's pretty much every band that's playing at that When We Were Young fest.
Yeah.
you know what? I think we just started a new trend. We know everyone fest. I think you like that. That goes very nice with that Santa Clarita International Film Fest. I think that'll go pretty well.
For
There
sure.
we go. There we go.
And of course, you mentioned Jerry about some of the music you shared with Brandon as well too. And how'd you first get started, Brandon? Or Jeremy? I'm sorry.
Just like personally, how did I get started, or with
Yes.
the band?
You.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I've been playing bass since I got my first bass when I was 15. So about 13 years, a little over 13 years now that I've been playing. And I mean, I've been in and out of bands throughout the years, performing like on the Sunset Strip and going on tours and stuff. So definitely have lots of experience with that. But I've been with these guys since June last year? Was it?
Yeah.
First show was June of 2021. And I mean, honestly, since then, just learning more about these guys and like the message of like spreading, mental health awareness. It's something that I've been feeling for so long, just on my own personal self. And so that was like a huge thing that we all clicked on too, not just the music, but like the message too. And so like that's really important for all of us.
And there is a message behind the music as well. We'll talk about that in the album Craniotomy featuring Lona. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and Manils. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, Anchor FM, and more. And also, Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Hamilton Radio every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central at HamiltonRadio.net. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific trio, which is a duo for this evening. Alternative pop punk inspired rock band, unapologetically acclaim their personal vendetta on mental warfare. Soundhoose on the Mike Wagner Show, featuring Brandon Smith, best known as Mr. Bad Luck, and Jeremy Bauer on bass. Paul Burns on drums is not able to join us tonight. You got the new album called Craniotomy featuring Loner. And before we talk about the album, Brandon, how'd you come up with Mr. Bad Luck? I think it should be Mr. Good Luck for you.
Honestly,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Literally everything at the time when I started doing this stuff was it felt like you're doing everything right, where you're going to school, you're trying to get a degree, you're working nonstop, trying to make ends meet, and it just seems like there's constantly stuff that just gets in the way and obstacles thrown at you, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to catch a break. And so I know I wasn't the only one going through this stuff. And so that's kind of how I ended up making the music, was I felt like maybe I'm not the only one who feels this way, but that was just a character that I sort of embraced, where I don't write the songs as Brandon. I write it as Mr. Bad Luck, thinking, okay, who's going to feel the same way that I do about this?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense as well too. But then you also had some good luck as well too. You're featuring LA Weekly, Highwire, and soon to be on CBS's Sound of the Underground later this year. You also performed with Whiskey Go Go, Viper Room, Molly Malone's, and of course you're getting some pretty good traction also on Spotify as well too, and YouTube and more.
It's been great. We've got a very, very good PR person as well who's done a great job. Phoenix is great. And I mean, the guys have all done a great job when it comes to getting shows, when it comes to getting our name out there, reaching out in the community. And like we just had one show recently at Black Rose LA, which was a venue in Los Feliz out here, and we actually orchestrated that show with three other bands, and we didn't take any of the profits. Literally everything from the ticket sales that night went towards the Jed Foundation, which is who we work with. And it, like, that's just another example of, we try to reach out to the community. We try and do stuff that gets other people involved and isn't just making music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what is the Jet Foundation? Tell us more about it.
The Jed Foundation, it's basically a foundation to look into mental health, especially for teens and young adults. You know, to look into like research and taking care of teens and young adults who are struggling. So, and you know, obviously just bringing awareness to it, let alone, you know, helping. I mean, that's a big thing, especially for the young, for kind of the youth right now. I mean, all people, all walks of life struggle, but you know, we need to have a safe space for young, you know, young adults and teens to have a space.
Mm-hmm. And why do you believe protecting life is very important, as you mentioned as well, too, the importance of mental health, and you're protecting all life? Why do you emphasize the protecting all life, and seem to have a big cause for it?
Honestly, I mean, every person on this earth has something to give, and everyone deserves a chance to be able to give something to this earth, you know, no matter what it is. And you know, we are in a position, and we want to be in a position where we can like advocate for that and show that that's important, you know, for everyone to be able to have a voice, kind of like Brandon was saying about, you know, being Mr. Bad Luck. It's like, this is my way of being able to show people that you can have a voice and that, you know, you are heard. So that's
Mm-hmm.
really important.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it's not just about us though. Like Jeremy's saying, it's literally about everybody. We wouldn't be here playing our music if we couldn't have people come to our show. Like, the fans are just as much a part of Soundhouse as we are. And we do want to be that advocate. We want to let them know that during the hour and a half, 30 minutes, whatever time that they're with us, that all the bullshit that goes out on in the real world does not matter when you're with us, and everybody at a Soundhouse show is accepted for who they are, and we're all family.
Mm-hmm. And that's really important as well too, having that community as well too. And before we talk more about mental health as well, you also had some previous experience too in the in with your group with Quarantine Psycho, Mr. Bad Luck, and tell us about those albums, and you can feature some of the songs and what inspired you to write them.
Mr. Badluck was just the first or Mr. Badluck was actually the second song I legitimately ever wrote. The first one never got released because it was absolute garbage, but
It's better
but
than nothing. You got to think of that.
hey, I agree. And you know what? I've shown it to these guys and they get a kick out of it every now and then, but the progress is just so far, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Mr. Badluck was really the first song that I ever wrote, and it still hits home every single time that I sing it and we play it. And Quarantine Psycho was, I think everybody, when quarantine started, it all hit us and we had no idea what was going on. We had no idea if live music was going to come back, and we didn't have any interactions with the outside world. You couldn't see your friends. You were stuck inside home. And so again, not having a journal, I decided to start making music on it, and that was my way of getting through it. And I think we all went a little bit crazy, which is why that album's a little bit darker and heavier than some of the stuff that maybe we're putting out now. But at the time it felt right. And so now that things have opened up a little bit, our music's a little bit happier, though it still talks about darker subjects.
And not even like darker subjects, but you know, like serious topics, the things that we feel like need to be talked about, or just like real life experience that we've had. and you know, it might just be to like a happier tune.
And what are some of the topics you guys cover?
I mean, just obviously the mental health stuff,
Or,
going
or like the specifics of it?
Suicide's a big one.
Yeah.
A gender identity. I mean, like we're both guys who go by he and all that kind of stuff with the gender pronouns, but it's anybody's free to be able to say what they want to be, and we don't characterize anybody. If they want to be called a certain or be called something a certain way, we're going to respect them, because again, it's their choice and we respect that. Whether it comes to
existential crisis
Yeah.
type stuff, where like, you know, just like having those intrusive thoughts, and not understanding why you're having those thoughts, but you know, bringing them to life, and kind of like either squashing them or figuring out a way to be able to cope with it, you know, in like a healthy way. You know, it's like that type of stuff. We talk about that kind of a lot on the record too.
Okay.
There's so many things that like maybe we don't even have experience with, or fortunate enough not to have experience with, that other people may be going through, that we try and talk to as many people as we can and learn about it. That way we can grow and maybe have something else that we can bring to the forefront as far as singing about. But there's just so many different things that people deal with out there that we want to bring light to let them know that they're not alone and that we're an outlet for them, because some people may not have the support system that we're blessed with at home, and we want to be that for them if they don't have an outlet.
Right, and that's a really good idea too. It's important to connect and everything else. And you also had some songs that highlight live that's like Just a Name, Runner, Addicted, Psych, and Devil's Angel. And tell us more about those songs. And of course, the inspiration was about mental awareness and everything else. Tell us more about the songs and a little bit of details. There's all the songs out there we haven't covered. You can talk about that.
There's a few of them. What, like I would say like Psycho is definitely one of them. Rejects was a big one off of that album. Um, a lot of them are around a specific word, whether it's Psycho, Rejects, Loner. And there's people who are called certain things when people are mischaracterizing them or bullying them, making fun of them. And our message is to embrace who you are, and there's nothing wrong with like being a reject, for example. Everybody's a little bit crazy in their mind at times, and it's okay to be that way. If someone calls you a little bit psycho, it's like we all have those tendencies in our own way, and the thing that we try and do is embrace that and say that there's nothing wrong with being like not being okay.
Yeah. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. I wish I could give a longer answer, but it's just a matter of accepting who you are, knowing that there's nothing wrong with you, and if you think you need help or if you need help, go seek it. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help, and you need to be comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, and specifically speaking of that, that's like another thing that we've definitely touched on lyrically is you know, making sure like that our listeners know that it's okay to seek help when you need it. Because even beyond like, you know, more specifically in like the mental health realm, there's such a stigma around need, like, you know, when you need help, getting help and seeking help, because it's really, really important for people to be, you know, taking care of themselves. And if you can't, and if you're in a position where you can't be taking care of yourself, it's okay to be getting help.
And that's certainly important as well too. We'll touch more on that. We'll talk about Loner from Soundhoose in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Soundweb Studios. Visit online at SoundwebStudios.com for any needs, and brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Wagner Show, international war-wearing author Mia Molson's The Missing, available on Amazon paperback and ebook. We'll be back with Brandon Smith and Jeremy Bauer of Soundhoose after this time. We're back with Brandon Smith and Jeremy Bauer, Soundhoose, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Paul Burns wasn't able to join us tonight, and we'll talk about Loner, the featured release, and tell us a bit about that, and where can we find all your music at?
So Loner is one of our most proud singles that we have coming up on Craniotomy. our upcoming album release next year. But Loner is about basically just like accepting and realizing, like, you know, that's okay, you know, like if you know if you're alone, but that's okay. And there's, you know, the lyric in the chorus is you know, I'm alone, a loner, a lonely loner, why does the world hate me? And kind of just like saying that and realizing and accepting that, you know, and like, you know, it's a powerful, it's a really, really powerful lyric, and it definitely resonates with me personally, at least. But I think that it resonates with a lot of people. I've like heard people just say that back to us, and like seen people singing it back to us at shows, and this one's definitely getting a lot of reception as far as the lyrical content.
And that's certainly. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna add, like, the whole line that, like, Jeremy was saying in the chorus of "Why does the world hate me?" I feel like, again, with the whole idea of Mr. Bad Luck, it's we've all asked that question.
Right.
Why am I being dealt this? Why is this happening to me? You could have a relative die and your car breaks down on the same day, and it's just, why is all this stuff happening to me? And you're not the only one that goes through it. And like during our verses, I think the main thing that we also wanted to do is we wanted to list all of our insecurities. Like, if the world knows what we're insecure about, they can't use it against us. Like, if you just openly say it and you just give that to them, it can't hurt you. If you're holding on to it and you're afraid of it, then people can use that against you because they know that you feel weak about it. But if you just randomly just throw it out there, no one's going to give you any crap for it because you're so open about it.
And that's a very good point as well, too. Good to know about it. And how can we help?
Well, I mean,
That's a loaded question.
but I mean, check out the song and check out the music, and you know, just we really, really hope that it resonates with you. That's definitely, like, you know, a big way to help. And I mean, reach out to us, you know, honestly, message us on our, you know, on any social medias, and you know, we will respond. We respond to everything. And I think that that's like also something you can do, is just like realize that we can be somewhere where you can go as a safe space.
And where can we find all your music at?
Any streaming site. It's on iTunes, Spotify, literally everything that you can possibly think of. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, all that stuff.
Facebook, Instagram,
Twitter, Snapchat, Twitter.
Snapchat. We actually have a Discord channel that we just recently started.
It's called Soundhoose.
Yeah, it's called
Soundhoose. Yeah.
Soundhoose. And so that's something that we're starting up right now. And we want to ask anyone who's a fan of the music, or, you know, just needs someone to talk to. That's going to be like it's called the Soundhoose. It's a space where people can come together and talk about what they're going through, and, you know, maybe just kind of build up a community, and you know, just all be there for each other.
And that's the thing, is we're not always going to be around 24/7 as much as we'd like to be. Like, there's going to be times where we're away from our phone, and it's like you ask what you guys can do about or do to help and promote it. And if you know somebody who you maybe see going through something, talk to them. Like, talk to them. You can be that outlet for that person. It doesn't have to be just us. It can literally be like, you can help a friend, you can help a random person, you may not even know them. Like, there's been so many times where, like, we've randomly gone up to somebody who was having a hard time and like just give them a hug just because they may need it. And it's, if you can do that for somebody else without any cameras watching you, it's like the one thing that I think I always grew up trying to live by is, there was that quote where it says, like, character's what you do when no one's watching. It's the same thing. And it's just being a good person to your fellow human being.
And that's very important as well, too. And we're here with Brandon Smith and Jeremy Bauer of Soundhoose here on the Mike Wagner Show. Guys, I'd like to have you back on as well, too. Just a few more minutes. What else can we expect from you guys in 2022 and 2023?
Go ahead.
So we've got one more single that's coming out November 18th. It's called Phobia. It kind of piggybacks off of Loner, where we list even more of our insecurities, and just saying that if you're not okay, it's okay to not be okay.
Mhm.
And that one is maybe a little bit darker, slightly heavier, but we've got the new album that should be coming out early next year, sometime in either February or maybe early March. We're hoping to possibly tour early next year. And yeah, that's pretty much our goal, is release the album and then hopefully go on tour from there.
Okay, we're certainly looking forward to that, guys. And who do you consider biggest influences in your careers?
Oh man.
I'll let you think about it, because you've got a lot. Mine are fairly easy.
Collaborate, guys. Collaborate. It's okay. It's collaboration.
For me, I would say there's three. There's, when it comes to being a frontman and a performer, it's Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. When it comes to interacting with your fan base, Tyler Joseph of 21 Pilots. And I think my style of playing, when it comes to what I like to do on the guitar, I would have to say it's Tom DeLonge, and not necessarily just with Blink, but with Angels and Airwaves for sure.
I have I would say, like, as far as a bass player, when it comes to performance and recording and just overall attitude, Green Day, Mike Dirnt, Blink-182, Mark Hoppus, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, Flea. And then I'm gonna throw a wild card your way. I'm gonna have to say, not a musician, but Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge influence on me just as a person. He always has been. He's been my biggest influence, like, as far as, you know, someone who's kind of like paved the way for my mentality.
That's a great answer.
I love it too. We'll have to talk basketball sometime. It's amazing.
Oh,
So we're here with Brandon Smith and Jeremy Bauer, Soundhoose, with their soon be released Craniotomy featuring Loner on the Mike Widener Show. Guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to again soon. Make sure you keep this up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, tell us your website. How do we contact you? When can people purchase or check out your music?
So again, we're on every single social site that you can think of: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's just at Soundhoose, at SOUNDHOOSE. And then our website is www.soundhoose.com. You can find upcoming shows there. You can find any press that we've been in. You can listen to music. We've got an entire merch store that you can go buy some stuff on there and interact with us as well.
Okay, we'll certainly check that out. Once again, guys, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. Wish you all best. And guys, you've got a great future ahead of you.
I appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much,
Thanks,
Mike.
thanks a lot, Mike.